It's nothing fancy by today's standards, but I'm still a little obsessed with it. I tend to use delay as a way to fill space, so I don't feel like I have to keep throwing notes out there. And yeah, there's a time and a place for runaway feedback, but sometimes you just want to kind of ride that edge. And this pedal has some really interesting features that make doing that a little bit easier. Believe it or not, this is essentially an 8-knob pedal. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm gonna tackle these knobs left to right because the up and down functions are somewhat related. Like right here we've got delay and pre-delay. Pre-delay is a staple of reverb, but this might be the first time I've seen it done on a delay, at least on a pedal. And with that, we can get that short delay after a long pre-delay, or a long delay that starts a few milliseconds after the first hit. Honestly, I'm not sure how I would use it, but I'm glad it's there. Up next, we've got feedback and a hi-fi to lo-fi knob. I'm definitely hearing Ibanez DE7 in there, and that's a good thing. We've definitely seen lo-fi pedals before, we've definitely seen pedals with a lo-fi mode before. This might be the first time I've seen hi-fi to lo-fi implemented as a range on a knob like this. What's actually going on is that it's adjusting the overall frequency response, a range, which is why we can hear that pitch kind of floating around in there. And somewhere between hi-fi and lo-fi, I'm also hearing a shift between Bucket Brigade and PT 2399. Also a good thing. Let's keep this going with the high damp and low damp knob right here. These set the attenuation of the higher and the lower frequencies. Think of it as an EQ of sorts. Nice to have, not terribly interesting. It works like this. And finally, all the way on the right, we've got level and ducking. Level is level. Ducking lowers the level of the echoes when you start playing again, almost like a side-chained compressor, or when a DJ is doing a long talk-up during the intro to Eminence Front. How about a little before and after? Here's a clip with no ducking. You can hear it gets a little busy in there, and that's expected when you've got the level and the feedback set pretty high, like I do. Now hear what happens when I pull the ducking knob up, even just like a third of the way. Personally, I prefer that kind of setting. It just gives my live playing a little more space, and the effect itself doesn't become distracting, and I'm not sitting there waiting for the echoes to come back in. But I also realize in hindsight that it's probably worth hearing all that for yourself. So here's a less subtle clip I recorded this morning. The way I'm kind of approaching this pedal is that it's a rack mount delay, or at least the parts a guitarist would be interested in, lifted and shifted into a compact little box. And it's not just the lo-fi, hi-fi, and the ducking thing, but there's also a high-low switch on the back here for going between humbuckers and single coils. Nice. And you get 2 presets we can bounce back and forth between. You know I love that. Something else kind of unique, it takes 9-volt power or 6 AA's. The inside of this is a real trip as well. It's mostly SMD components, phase loop lock, and flip-flop circuits. We've also got this connect, which just loops back to itself. All right, you do you. And then down here, we've got this 6-channel inverter with an oscillator crystal and 3 capacitors on a tiny little island board here attached with double-sided foam tape. Now, I seriously doubt that's a user mod, and check out the logic diagram for that chip. It's seriously just a logic inverter. I've been involved in my fair share of late product development cycle fixes. Whoever was involved in that, you have my deepest sympathies. Korg ToneWorks 301DL Dynamic Echo. Even without the whole inside thing, this is just a really interesting and non-standard pedal, and that's a good thing. I like a pedal where some very clear decisions were made. It's the little things. I'm just having fun playing with pedals over here. I'll catch you on the next one.